with Facebook, well, Facebook is just totally clamping down. WEA, Warner, Elektra, and Arista has now gone out into a full-out war now with Facebook.
War as hell, Sarge.
Don't worry, they're coming to. Don't worry, they're coming for Club. Now that Clubhouse has gone to Android, it's only a matter of time.
And Twitch, they've gotten Twitch and all the streaming services. And YouTube.
And the thing is, right, and the thing about it is, if these people were smart, because here it is. Let's call it what it is, boys.
Let's call it the beginning of the show. How about that?
Yeah, that's a good place to start the show, because at some point I want to ask you about Rock and Roll Hall of Fame again, but go ahead.
Yeah, we got that early, so, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's fine. All right, let's roll.
Yeah, just keep talking.
Good idea.
We're rolling now.
Let's somebody start the show.
What? Okay. I thought we started the show.
We've started. Oh, we're already starting.
Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are once again at the Shades of the Round Table. So let's go ahead and do our groovy thing.
We already started.
So
you were saying about whatchamacallit, ASCAP and all those guys and all that stuff. What were you?
It comes down to this, guys. All right.
They got you on Twitch, they got you on YouTube, and now they're taking Facebook videos down.
Well, the Facebook was the first assault because, all right, let's face it, Zuckerberg didn't think this through, and people have to realize that it's not a medium for music. It's Facebook, okay? So yeah, I don't think Zuckerberg, came in and thought, oh well, maybe they'll stream music someday. You would think that if he would have had all of his ducks in a row, he would have came to the publishing agencies and talked to them about, oh well, this could benefit all of us. And the fact that all of us old disc jockeys and guys that are doing music, the new people doing new music, wonderful. Okay, let's get them licensed. The people playing records that are licensed already, let's get a fee. It benefits ASCAP, it benefits BMI, or whatever the fuck is out there, and everybody wins. But no, nobody wants to do the groundwork, and the lawyers just don't want to sit, with their fat asses on top of all of these copyrights that never benefited nobody. And so you would think that they would come together and say, hey, why don't we get a blanket agreement and work this out? No.
Because greed.
It's all about the money. Again,
it's twofold. It's greed and who wants to do the work.
Exactly. And nobody wants to do the busy work. Nobody wants to go through what could be years and years and years of leasing and licensing and all this other shit just to say, okay, all of this music is okay to play on these streams. You know what? If they would come, it's just like what they do with AFTRA, the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, or SAG, or any of these guys, where they go ahead and say, okay, we get $300, $400, $500 from you in a year. This guarantees you maybe X amount of hours or X amount of time with this particular product, as long as you give us what it is you're playing in advance. We get the approval.
There's got to be a way.
There's got to be a way.
There's got to be a way to do this, and the artists get paid.
Right.
Because there's got to be a way. I just don't know. Hey, look. Let me.
The new artists, the people that are actually have been born of the technological age of recording now, whereas now a lot of the labels are already pissed off because the middlemen are being cut to the quick. And, like that. The days of record labels of old are gone.
Well,
okay?
They're not fully gone, but I get where you're coming from.
But you got a lot of
they've
all been supplanted. They've
been rendered needless. You don't need a label.
Don't need a label. Right. I'm a guy. I'm doing 4 tracks from my house. I go ahead and I get a firm like Lease of All, which is a actual real firm in New York that takes your product and you can send them a file, or you can record off your phone, and they cut the material over there, and then they go ahead, sell your copies to other people for demo purposes, so that way you can get a deal at a real established situation, or you could actually open your own label, cut out all the middlemen, and be guaranteed that the money that you got will come straight to you.
Oh, I was going to take it entirely different.
And then you got the other ones where you got some of these people that they're recording now, and they put out their product. I mean, they put their product on Spotify or on this, on that, which they get the same penny.
Well, I don't know if you saw what my niece did during the pandemic. So my niece, I told you, my niece was top 40 one year for American Idol. So what? There were a couple times I saw her do it, which is she'd put up a Facebook Live, and it's her fucking music.
Right, exactly.
Okay, it's her music or her playing covers. So what are they going to really do to her? Okay, and in the post, here's my Cash App.
Right, or a Coffee, the KOFI account, or Patreon, or those kind of things.
Yeah, exactly.
They have lots of those out there now.
Yeah. Right, and at that point,
a tip jar, pretty much.
Right, exactly. And there were a lot of artists. There were a lot of small artists that were doing that do that, and they were doing it before that on YouTube,
or get
like that.
A T-Bubble account or whatever, like sell a T-shirt or a mug or something,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
People make that money doing it too.
Exactly.
Cut me out again.
They do the thing with the merch as well as the music, and again, it just two ways, to them and then for the customers back to the artists. Which the labels, when this thing started to become a reality. Yeah, this pissed off a lot of labels. This pissed off a lot of people, but they weren't ready for that. They weren't ready for that, and it's becoming more and more the reality, and that is why you got these labels, these old labels that are doing the strong arm, trying to keep getting the things that they so think that they deserve, and that is why it's a tug of war. It's become a tug of war. And it doesn't have to be, but so as long as the old regime is still going to stand staunchly against their principles of what they think the recording business is, against the new wave, the new squires coming in saying, we don't need your fucking label anymore. We don't need your A&R people. We don't need your photo people. We don't need your promotional shit. We don't need none of your fucking shit, because we can do this ourselves. And then here's the trick of the tail now. Okay, you still have those people still supplanted in many parts of the music industry that are still fucking around with those people. Oh yeah, you got your stuff on a regional level, but I will make sure you will never reach the national level because I still command that.
Hey dude, it's no different. Look, it's no different than the radio business.
Well, yeah, it's the same old shit.
The radio business is doing a very, very the radio business had. Let's put this in perspective.
Yes, please.
When Stern decided to make the move to Sirius XM, this is how far back this goes with radio. When Stern made the move about Sirius XM, there are two ways that the radio industry could have looked at this. Okay, the first way is we need to find ways to innovate, and we need to find ways to be relevant again, to make radio relevant again. Okay, let me give you a hint. They didn't take that route.
Nope.
They didn't take that route. Not only did they not take that route, now they take that route.
It's been abandoned.
And NAB, which is the National Broadcasters Association, is putting out PSAs to give to radio stations to play on their airwaves about why terrestrial radio. Dude, you're going the wrong direction.
Yes, exactly.
You circled the wagons and doubled down, and it's like you guys are crazy. And in the meantime, that audience keeps. I mean, there are still people who listen to regular radio, terrestrial radio. There still are, because otherwise, I don't know how Top 40 exists.
Well,
I don't know how Top 40 exists. And I will say the other place where terrestrial radio probably is still doing just fine is ironically stuff like sports radio.
News talk, yeah.
And talk radio, right.
Yeah.
conversation radio, and it's just like.
But I'll be honest, a lot of the conversation radio is all political, which is part of the problem.
There's your local news, like the news radio.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of places that don't have a station like that.
Most markets have one, but that's the only one they have in that city.
No, there wasn't one in it. Like when I lived in Indy, they didn't have the
like all news and weather and traffic and channel over there.
Nope.
Oh.
No, not like that. No,
it depends on the market and how big that market is.
Well, Indy was
that's a pretty big market.
Indy's
top 40? It's a mid-market. Indiana's mid-market because it's in the Midwest. It's in much of the 50,000 watt clear channel zones in many ways. But then considering the fact that small stations, tiny stations like, let's say tiny stations like Weef got pretty much eaten up like croutons, back in the 90s, 2000s and everything. And that just took the whole local view of radio out of the equation.
I can't figure out how broker radio really is a thing anymore.
Well, because you still have the holdouts, okay? Interesting enough, you have some of those brokered radio stations who have, haphazardly, made their way through to the internet and the technology. Right. Okay? And then you have for example, I listen to Tony Napoli on Sunday, okay? And for me to sit there and watch Tony Napoli on Sunday and him getting, his little 20, 25, 30 people on Facebook and of course off of a stream that he paid for, long before he even got involved with the whole Facebook thing. I mean, he was already on the internet doing that because I remember the time I was at the very end of my our show days and everything when I rode that wave for a while because he bought the internet connection for the whole station to use. But
that's sad.
Yeah, so Tony Napoli.
That's freaking sad that the broker flies for a radio from $1 million radio station.
Yeah, but that's the truth, though. It's the truth.
I know. That's just such bullshit.
I know.
That's typical broker radio right there. Oh, we don't have budget for that.
The broker radio is the exception, not the rule. I think we've narrowed that.
Oh,
yeah. So it comes down to this other thing.
Who was I talking to today about this? Where literally it was. Oh, I was talking to somebody the other day. Oh, yesterday. I was talking about. I've been a producer and they were talking about they were asking whether or not about producer stories, and I'm like, I worked in broadcasting for 12 years. I said, most of my 12 years I worked in broker radio. I got stories up the wazoo, and they're all hilarious because we have stories up the. Oh, come on!
I was boring. I was babysitting a tape deck every Sunday.
Well, you did.
I wasn't babysitting Ivan.
You never have somebody wander in out of nowhere.
Well, no, I mean, you did have some adventures, but not that.
Not compared to you two, no.
That were not broadcast worthy. I mean, it's just like, we had a lot of internal stuff that happened with you.
That's not true. You were around for the Baha'i thing.
Oh yeah, and of course, when you decided to tear down all the stuff down in the station walls and paint all the walls.
Well, that's just office politics. That has nothing to do with anything. It's radio centric.
No, that counts as broker radio, my friend.
But it was funny though. But it was funny, and it was funny stuff. We did a lot of funny stuff back in the broker radio days.
Look, by the end of my career, I actually worked for a real radio company, and I'm like, that shit. I always used to laugh when people get mad about certain things, and it was funny because I would be like, "You guys have no understanding," and they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, and it was funny. Because my boss knew where I came from, and I'm like, y'all just don't understand. He goes, "I understand. I know where you used to work," and I'm like, "Yep. This is. I mean, anybody who's complaining about this, I got places for you to work. Let's see how you enjoy that."
How would you like to come in and repair turntables and carts and shit every week, because nobody knows how to fucking maintain anything.
Come to work and you have missing equipment because one of your board ops has a gambling problem.
Oh no, my favorite is traffic's mad because this spot didn't run. Traffic? We don't even have traffic in like freaking broken radio. Traffic. You know what traffic is? You know what traffic is? The station manager walks up to you and goes, "Hey fucker, why didn't you play that spot?" That's what traffic is. That's a paid spot. Why didn't you run it?
Not to mention the characters that we had to board up for and produce for, man.
Oh man.
And try to clean up try to clean up their mess.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, but the point being is, you know, like the point that we were trying to get to is, the point is that yes, between music and radio, they both seem to have similar thought processes about certain things and the innovations coming in. And my favorite is I've now been hearing for 3 decades the death of radio is coming, and I'm like, really? If it's coming, it's pretty fucking slow. And it's like, no, it's coming, and I'm like, are you sure? Because I keep watching it; it's still there, and somehow somebody's making it work.
Saying the same stuff back in the late '90s.
Right.
We had this conversation in the 90s, Mike,
Yeah.
remember?
I remember.
We gave it like what, 10, 15 years?
Yeah. So, the radio business and the music industry is both stagnated, and they're set in their ways, and they're just still able to make a living.
Yeah,
at the expense of their workers.
They're busy having tantrums while the world is passing them by.
Well, it's funny. I guess the only thing I can say is that I guess technically the audiences have gotten smaller in terms of the number sizes.
Yeah.
Not to mention, and Ivan, you saw this and I can't remember. I mean, at least in the Chicago market, because we do get people who are listening from the Chicago market once in a while. All 3 of them. But like in the Chicago market, hasn't one of the Spanish stations been like the number 1 station in the city?
Yep. Yes, it was. It was.
I mean, that's crazy.
And believe it or not, you'll be surprised at who it was. Viva 103.1. Those numbers familiar to you guys?
You're kidding me.
No,
That's who it was? I thought it was like 105 something or 105 something.
No, Viva 103.1.
You're kidding me. Wow.
When Rich Marsden lost his ass, Viva came in, swooped down, took the remnants of what used to be XXYYX, and that's when it became Viva, and then Viva built upon that, and then they ended up spawning several other radio stations underneath their company banner, and they've been like the number 1 Hispanic company, and they had several number 1 stations within the last 10 years. Yeah, and Viva 103.1 was our old WVVX, guys. How the times have changed.
So times have changed. That's right. So moving along, I guess you want to get to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees.
Sure.
Yeah, do we have a list? I mean, I know at least one off the top of my head, at least 2 off the top of my head that got in, but I can't remember the rest.
Let's pull it up. It's on, I think we put it on the Squares Roundtable Facebook page, I think, for our own personal references. Let's find out here.
I'm looking. Hold on.
Okay, so Tina Turner.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Carole King.
Should have been in a long time
I thought
ago.
Carole King should have been one of the first ones in.
She should have been in a long time ago.
The Go-Go's.
We've been talking about the Go-Go's for a couple of years now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
Jay-Z.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense, but okay. I that's one of those where it's
I don't know. That just sounds olive branch to me, Jeff. It does. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the part where you and I have a difference of opinion about rap. Hip hop.
Todd Rundgren.
Should have been in a long time ago.
The Foo Fighters.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, Food Fiber under the shadows of what they were.
Food Fiber? No, it's the Foo Fighters, Ivan.
I know Food Fighters, Food Fibers. But anyway, no, under the shadow of what they were Nirvana, I don't know. Go ahead.
Kraftwerk. with a K.
Should have been in a long time ago.
Charlie Patton.
Should have been in from the beginning.
Gil Scott-Heron.
Should have been in a long time ago.
Billy Preston.
Also should have been in a long time ago.
LL Cool J.
Should have been in a long time ago.
Yep. Clarence Avant.
I'll tell you right now. Yeah, okay, so let's stop there as the person who is the hip-hop guy of the group. That Jay-Z got in at the same time as LL Cool J is the problem.
That's bullshit.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's the problem. The problem isn't that somebody's... The problem isn't that the Foo Fighters got in. The problem is when some of these things happen and how long it takes for some of these people to get in. The fact that Jay-Z gets in at the same time as LL Cool J, and LL Cool J had to wait this long.
Since the mid-'90s? That's when this thing was founded? Back in the mid-'90s?
Yeah, but I don't know when he first got on the ballot either.
It started in 86.
But they didn't build the building in Cleveland until like the mid-'90s, early '90s.
Yeah, but the association.
In fairness, the problem is I don't know when LL Cool J got on the ballot. So, and we could look it up, but we really won't know.
Yeah, but
the point being is, that's the problem. The problem is that, is it? And there was somebody else. Wasn't there somebody else, Mike, who made it?
There's two others. Clarence Avant.
Never heard of.
And I don't know who that is.
Randy Rhoads.
That was Ozzy Osbourne's great guitar player, which should have been in a long
Clarence,
time ago.
was that the sax player for Bruce Springsteen?
No, that's Clarence Clemens.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know who that is. Do we need to go? Do we need to? Wow, if Ivan doesn't know who that is, maybe we need to Google it. What's
he's also known as the Black Godfather.
You're talking about James Brown?
No, Clarence Avant.
That's the Godfather of Soul.
He's a executive film producer.
Clarence Avant.
Music executive, entrepreneur, and film producer. Also goes by the name of the Black Godfather.
Who is the what?
Yeah, no, I don't.
I don't know who that. Okay, so it's like
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is at all.
That's Google, dudes. As I have no idea, and I didn't know that people that were producers of movies and shit should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, he's not an artist. He's just a big-time producer.
I'm sure Barry Gordy... Wait, is Barry Gordy in the Hall of Fame?
Right. Is he there?
I don't know.
I have no idea. Hold on.
Okay, all right. It's,
What is this person's name? Charles Avant?
Clarence Avant.
Oh, Clarence.
Yeah.
Avant.
Clarence Clemens was a sax player.
Oh, wait, hold on. He pops right up. Clarence Avant. What movies did he do? Something called The Black Godfather, Searching for Sugarman. He's got a couple of things here with Quincy Jones, but what does that have to do with? Oh, a second. Hold on. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Hold on.
I know about Searching for Sugarman. That was about an artist that worked for Sussex Records that released one album and then found that his album ended up having millions of things sold on the booty.
Okay, so here. Okay, so here we go. Associated acts with Clarence Avant. Bill Withers, Dennis Coffey, The Gallery, the SOS Band, Shirelles?
The Shirelles?
It's Cherelle. Is that Shirelles? Alexander O'Neill, Jimmy Jam, and Terry Lewis. Well, they're major producers. They should get it. By the way, they should get in sometime too if we're talking about producers.
Well, true.
Terry Lewis, Sixto Rodriguez, and Quincy Jones. Now, let's see. It says let's see. Awards. 2008 National Recording Artist Sciences with a Trustee Award. Hollywood Walk of Fame. 2018 received the President's Merit Award as Grammy Icon at the Clive Davis pre-Grammy party.
Okay, Clive Davis, big man, yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like
he sounds like a mover and shaker.
Yeah,
he sounds like the kind of person.
Big wigs.
Here we go. Whoa. Okay. I got into his Wikipedia. I'm looking at. First of all, he's local. He's from the South Side.
Okay.
Here we go. So no, wait. He's not from the South Side. There's something mentioned here. Let's see.
He's from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Here we go. So he was. I'm trying to do this from the fast version. Forgive me.
That's okay.
Managed Little Willie John.
Okay, that was a huge name in the R&B.
Oh, okay. Sarah Vaughan.
Okay, huge.
Kim Weston, Louise Bonifa, Wynton Kelly, Freddie Hubbard.
Okay.
Curtis Fuller.
Okay.
Pat Thomas.
Okay.
Rock and roll pioneer Tom Wilson.
Okay, Tom Wilson. Big name, Tom Wilson.
Okay. Whom Avant partnered with the Wilson Organization. Jazz producer Creed Taylor. Jazz musician Jimmy Smith.
Okay.
Argentine the piano composer and Lalo
Schifrin?
Yeah.
Schifrin.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Lalo Schifrin. That's the Mission Impossible theme. Think of that.
Okay. Collaborated with Schifrin to make the Cat released on Verve Records.
Okay.
Okay. This guy's a heavy hitter.
Yeah. Well, he's a mover and shaker. He's a mover and shaker.
It's one of those where it's like, I don't know who that guy is. We should look him up. Okay, yeah, he probably should be.
Okay, well, yeah, well now given them this recent new information, okay, now
exactly.
I can see
That's the problem sometimes with some of these names where it's like, who the hell is that? And it's like, wait, we should go look him up.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of this show. We learn together. That's
right. No. It sounds well, if you're managing Sarah Vaughan, right. I mean, just looking at it, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, wow. Because Pat Thomas was from Chicago, and she had a big hit on MGM with One Note Samba, huge record for her. Okay. Kim Weston, she was in the annals of Motown, and then got mishandled by Motown, and then later ended up going to MGM, same label as Pat Thomas, and then ended up doing big records there. Some of her Northern Soul records are in the hundreds of dollars now. As far as Creed Taylor, that's CTI, Creed Taylor Incorporated. That was a huge jazz label in the 60s, 70s, and early 80s, which, of course, did let me see if I said this right. Myriad.
Myriad.
Myriad bunch of acts on that label, too. So, that being said, this guy just sounds like you're out of the spotlight, mover and shaker. He connected the dots with a lot of people. Which that's huge, because he's worked with a lot of really big. It appears he's moved around with a lot of really big acts.
So let's see.
He's got a star on the Rock of Fame next to Jimmy Johns, the Subway.
Jimmy Johns,
Terry Lewis, and Jimmy Johns. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, Terry Lewis and Jimmy Johns. That might be the name of the episode. The sad part is, those two guys, and I'm not going to do it because I'm going to probably screw it up too, but those two guys are pretty much the godfathers of the 90s pop R&B.
Yeah, they talked to those guys a lot in season 2 of that show I'm constantly praising is that Tales from the Tour Bus from Mike Judge.
Well, those two guys are...
So they pretty much cornered the market on the whole urban contemporary sensibility.
You know who their biggest claim to fame is?
Who's that?
Pretty much every Janet Jackson album.
Yep.
Oh, well, that's said and done.
Oh, no. That's pretty much who her producers were. Those two guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they
and then they produced a whole lot of other stuff. But that's where they're big. That was where they got big. I think I can't remember if they were.
That's their money shot. That was their money shot.
Oh no! They worked with That's why, like, Janet had some of those amazing albums that she was able to put out time and time again. Is she was working with them a lot.
Yep.
I mean, the Rhythm Nation, the double album Janet that was out there for a long time. All the stuff
they made good sandwiches with Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
I
feel so bad because I like those guys and they make great music. And you know what? And now we're equating them with Jimmy John. God damn it! I get it. I get it. Really, but it says, let's see.
Because I'm just musically ignorant. That's me.
No, you're not ignorant. Not musically ignorant. Just musically.
Now, Ivan, you consider yourself a music lover or a music snob? I mean, are you snobbish about some music?
No.
There's some music be like, oh God, that's awful. Why are you listening to that garbage?
Well, okay, I guess my reception of the music, I listen to everything and then I take it from there.
You listen to Viking music?
Well, I've listened to all types of music. No, I'm not kidding. No, I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. I mean, in any given day, being a food for mood guy, as far as the music is concerned, I'm always looking for different things. And, you got like when Electric Jungle was open and guys would come over and, they would go through all the albums looking for things to sample or things to, put on their presentations and on their recordings and everything. They come to me and they're like, we need something that sounds like, like water roaring and stuff like that. And I go, oh, well, here's a Toccata in Fugue. Try this. Oh, wow, that's cool. Or, we need something that, we need something like this. Oh, here's the Night on Bald Mountain from Fantasia, and shit like that. No, I'm always listening to lots of different things. I mean, I'm not real hip to the whole, I mean, I could do operettas, but I can't do whole operas because for me, I just find them a bit tedious.
I know you're not a fan of most classical music.
Oh no, I do like some classical. I mean, I do like my share of Tchaikovsky. I do like my share of Rachmaninoff.
Wait, stop. Hold on a second. Now I'm reading this and it says there's an article from Vulture and it says LL Cool J didn't make it. Do we know if he made it or not? Hold on a second.
Maybe that's an older article.
Maybe it must not
check the
older article. Check that out.
This is May 12th. Hold on a second.
Okay, because
I was looking to see who the snubs were.
And LL
yeah, he did not make it. That one's wrong.
He got snubbed?
Hold on,
what?
According to this, I'm looking at the list. We're wrong. That wherever we got that from is wrong. Here, let's go to the actual Rock and Roll Hall of Fame page.
My God.
Now we do have a conversation to have. Now we're going to go on a tangent. We're never going to get to anywhere else.
Here we go. No, let's
because I'm about to.
This shit ain't right.
Well, wait. Okay. Now, wait a minute. This doesn't make any sense. Okay, so why are they saying no? Okay. Reveals the inductees celebrating the most diverse list in history. Now, one thing says no, and then this says musical. Hold on a second. I'm confused.
Okay, so let's.
I'm confused because so here's what it says on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame page. Okay, it says performer category, and then it says Tina Turner, Carole King, the Go-Go's, Jay-Z, Foo Fighters, and Todd Rundgren. Then it says early influence work, Kraftwerk, Charlie Patton, Gil Scott-Heron. Then it says Musical Excellence Award. It says LL Cool J, Billy Preston, Randy Rhoads, and then the something called the Amert Erdogan Award, Clarence Avant.
Oh, the Ermit Erdogan Award. That's the man who owned Atlantic Records, the Ermit Erdogan Award. I know who that is, yeah.
So I'm confused because does that mean All right, now I'm confused. I have no idea.
Here's what I'm thinking. Maybe this is the tentative list of who are going to be in this. I'm just saying for the sake of folly. This is just like a list of the people they have lined up, and that
because then there's there's an article here from Vulture that names people who were snubbed.
Yeah, they're
nominees. On the nominee list.
Yeah,
who were on the nominee list. And now I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm confused.
Vulture. Well,
I'm confused. The problem I'm having right now is I'm having a problem figuring out. Wait, hold on. Maybe there's a way to find this.
I'm on the website. I'm on rockhall.com. I'm checking the.
Vulture,
so what was the full? Can we find a full list of the actual nominees?
Yeah, let's see.
Here we go. Here's a full list. Here we go. I have a full list now from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay, and they are?
So the full list of nominees were, and we know who did make it. Here's who did. Let's go from the perspective of who we have heard. So LL Cool J, I have no idea what's going on. So we'll leave that alone for a little bit. Okay. First of all, here's the thing. Okay. Here's what. Well, neither am I, but I don't know. I don't understand it at this point, which is one is saying yes, and then it's weird because, like I said, it's just strange. The way they're wording it is very strange, and I'm not sure what that means. I'm gonna leave on the. Because it's like they're saying he's not inducted, and yet they're saying that he's winning an award, but doesn't that mean he's inducted? I'm kidding.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Okay. According to there's performer category, and then there's early influence awards, and the musical excellence awards go to Billy Preston, Randy Rhoads, and LL Cool J.
But that does not mean they're inducted. They're just receiving awards.
Right. There's the performer category.
So now, okay. So does that mean? So LL Cool J won an award, but he's not getting in the Hall of Fame.
Maybe he's already in the Hall of Fame.
He's not.
Okay.
He's not.
Maybe they're waiting for him to be, to posthumous. I don't know.
What?
They're waiting for him to be dead.
He won the freaking Kennedy Center Honor thing 2-3 years ago. How does he not know? This is bullshit.
Because just like every other award place and everything, it's all about the Benjamins.
That's ridiculous. That is. Wait, here comes bullshit. The best part. Here's the best part. Here's the fun part. First of all, Jay-Z's a first time nominee. And the Foo Fighters are a first time nominee. Okay, here's the part that kills me. You know who was a first time nominee?
Who?
And this will shock you because we've been talking about for a long time about how they're not in. But now they're in. The Go-Go's.
Right.
They were.
How is it this is the first time they're in the ballot? That is insane.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
That's crazy.
I'm going to call this, guys. You're going to hate me, but I'm going to call it. Okay, it's the Go-Go's. They are a group of what?
Even so, come on.
No, come on. No. Think about it. They're a group of what?
Performers?
Women.
Musicians?
They are a group of women. Okay, and if you look at
Supremes, it's like they had what they put in the Supremes, they're black and they're women.
Yeah, but I'm saying this time out, this list right here. Look at it carefully.
It's not like the Go-Go's weren't popular. How did they not get nominated until now?
Because, all right, the one of the things that they require for being inducted into the Hall of Fame is that you have had to have had 25 years within the framework.
Wait, hold on a second. Oh, I know. Okay, because that may explain something. Because here's where I was really confused. How the fuck has it taken this long for Tina Turner to get in the Hall of Fame?
Well, yeah, it's because you have there's a time frame.
But she's not even a first-time nominee. You mean to tell me at some point Tina Turner did not automatically get in the... What kind of bullshit is this?
This is BS, yeah.
But I'm telling you the truth, though. That's no.
So wait, let's watch let's watch Ivan's head explode. So here's the name of some other people we haven't mentioned.
Okay.
Dionne Warwick.
Yeah.
Chaka Khan.
I know.
Iron Maiden.
Okay, yes.
Which, by the way, Iron Maiden fans are pissed for so much. Are pissed.
Well, of course they're pissed. I mean, Iron Maiden. They had consecutively great selling albums during their tenure for what they did, and again, they're just a part the window at Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay. This one I think I get. Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, Rage Against the Machine.
This one I get. I think they should be in, but I know why they're not.
Well, okay, because Rage Against the Machine, also you notice that a lot of the acts that end up in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, now you're thinking Rage Against the Machine kind of stands on its own merits, on its own musical premise and everything, and it's one of those acts that you can't quite categorize.
They're also anti-establishment.
Exactly. So that's why they've been having that kind of a time with that whole thing. It's just well, it's the same as KDFDM, same thing, or 9 Inch Nails, same thing.
No, I would say, truth be told, Rage Against the Machine has been I don't want to get into politics, but I mean, they came out this week basically on the whole brouhaha that's going on in the Middle East. I mean, that's how political they get. So.
Oh yeah, they're hardcore.
They're hardcore, and I'm imagining that especially when you want to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that can be
more hardcore than Jimmy John's.
Yeah,
well,
and then of course lots have been said about Moby. Why isn't Moby in there?
I have biases against Moby because of Eminem, but we won't get into that.
I understand. I understand your point there, Jeff. Okay, yeah, I get it.
I have bias against Moby because of Eminem, and there's too many. I immediately want to go into all the lyrics that Eminem has ever given about Moby, but so I'm going to stop.
Well, no,
some of them are offensive.
Oh, most of them are offensive.
Talking about all of them are offensive. You bald-headed bleep! Why don't you go blow me? You're too old. Nobody listens to techno. By the way, that drop has been in every freaking house mix for over a couple of decades.
For over a couple of decades.
Yeah. Thank you, Eminem, for basically pantsing Moby on that one, and basically giving that drop that basically techno has used for years and house music has used for years. Nobody listens to techno. I swear to God, that drop is in everything, even today.
Oh no! If it's either blatantly out there, it's subliminally added to something, but it's been out there.
Yeah.
You can't miss it. You can't miss it.
I almost think he did it on purpose because he's like, this is gonna get used in every techno and house piece there ever is, right? Yeah, probably. Okay, good. Let's do it.
That's the music's running joke.
Jeff, it's like, and Eb's getting paid for every one of those drops.
Every time
that's not the reason he did it.
They're getting their fucking money. It's all
absolutely. Oh, wait, where's my check? Where's my check? That's all that matters. That God bless Eminem that way, because he thinks that way too. Because he'll be like, "Where's my check? Where's my check?"
It's not even that; it's already in the mailbox. It hasn't. The next track hasn't even.
Absolutely. Although I will say he's been political as hell. And by the way, it'll be interesting because I don't think we've gotten to 25 years of Eminem yet.
No.
Matter of fact, I know we haven't gotten to 25 years of Eminem yet.
Mid-90s, I think.
No, it's even late. I think it's late 90s.
Yeah, late 90s.
It's late 90s. We're just give it a few more years and we're finally getting.
We're on the cusp.
We're on the cusp. We're getting there. We're getting there. Real fast to finish out some of these because we got other stuff to talk about too. This is where Ivan goes ballistic. The New York Dolls.
They're not in?
Nope.
They're not in?
Nope.
Oh, hell no.
Like I said, I was waiting for Ivan to go off when I did that one.
No.
What the fuck? The New York Dolls?
Well, now you poked the stick, now he's going to go off.
I know. Well, because I knew it was going to happen.
To kiss the fucking New York Dolls? What?
I know.
Oh, that is fucking wrong, man.
Wait, it gets even more funny. Kate Bush is not in.
Kate Bush?
No Kate Bush.
No Kate Bush. That's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Here's a name that I'm interested as to.
Rubber Band Girl. Rubber Band Girl was probably one of the hardest hitting fucking records back in 1987. Okay, 87, 97, 2007. 2007. What the fuck, man? What?
So here's a name that I'd love to pass by you because I would be curious your thoughts that they even got nominated.
Who?
Devo.
Oh, don't even start with me on Devo. Oh, come on. Why
really, to me, that's like one hit, right? That's it, right? I mean, I know that there's other things that they're aware that
and they've influenced a lot of other bands, but everyone knows because of Whip It.
Okay, because see, Devo, yeah, everybody knows them by Whip It and by a couple of other things that ended up in motion pictures. Okay, I get it. But they were a consistent album band. They were a consistent club band. They generated performances. They're just like Talking Heads in a lot of ways. And what else? She blinded me with science. Come on, you guys. You know the artist. What's the name?
Thomas Dolby.
Okay. Now there's the point of that whole thing. Why Devo isn't in there? Well, then see why is Devo not in there? But yet Kraftwerk is in there.
Well,
Kraftwerk
okay, so that answers that.
Why isn't Gary Newman in there?
I don't know.
The same type of music.
Didn't Gary Newman have a problem though? Like a pedophile or some weird shit like that? I can't remember.
No,
I'm thinking Gary Glitter. My bad.
Gary Glitter, yeah. No.
Yeah, the controversy when it was in the song was in the Joker movie.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, Gary Newman, the guy who made Cars, here in my car. But yet, again, another one-hit artist, but yet he was consistently selling great albums. The Pleasure Principle, let me see, the Two-Way Army and everything like that. He was all part of the CBGB movement back in New York, along with television and of course Devo, and of course the Talking Heads, and the New York Dolls.
I can't believe the New York Dolls are in. That's such bullshit.
Shit.
That's such bullshit.
Where's Tommy Bolin? Where's T. Bolin?
I don't know if he's in or not. We can't go there. So the last name that got snubbed, and I'll be honest, it's not her time yet. It's not her time, although she does belong as Mary J. Blige.
She does belong in, but yeah, she's got a few.
But if Dionne Warwick got snubbed, then it's Dionne Warwick.
And then you notice, and
Chaka Khan.
Yeah, and here we go. But notice that it's a little woman heavy, isn't it now?
No, actually, here's the interesting part. They snubbed 3 of the biggest black women R&B singers.
Yeah.
In history.
Yeah.
And
is Patti LaBelle in? Patti LaBelle was in,
I have no idea. But in this particular class, they snubbed 3 of the biggest black women's R&B singers. And you know how they and you know what they covered it up with? We're putting in Tina Turner.
Exactly. See, this is what I'm telling
you. That's where it is.
That's what I'm telling you guys.
I mean, man, that's...
Let's go ahead and let's cover this shit up and have everybody look at this. See? Everybody's going, but we got Tina Turner in, but that's because we didn't get these women in here. See? And that's just, it's all fucking olive branch shit. And it's like, really? Did they really mean anything by it? No, it just sounds like, fucking, let's just play patty cake with the media and everything like that so they don't see what we really think of these artists, which we don't.
Or what'll get more feet in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum this year.
Exactly.
That's the part I don't get about. So here's the irony. Okay, the New York Dolls don't get butts in seats. Well, hey, let me finish where I'm going with this. The New York Dolls don't get butts in seats.
Okay.
But LL Cool J does. LL Cool J gets a lot of butts in seats. LL Cool J is in millions of homes.
Well, he's getting an award.
Yeah. See, and that's what they're palming it off with.
Man, that's
what I'm telling you. They're palming it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm calling it what it is, Jeff.
You can't have Jay-Z without LL Cool J. How does
that's
that even?
How the hell does Jay-Z get in without LL Cool J being there first? I don't get that.
That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't.
That doesn't even make sense.
And the fact that it's a fucking award and not an induction is what grabs me by the fucking dick. It really.
Yeah.
Really?
No, that's. You know what the worst part is? There are gonna be people who think he got in, like me. There's a list that says he got in, and we thought he got in, and then wait a second, we're reading it, and like, no, he didn't get in.
See that because
he didn't get in at all.
Yeah, because what happens is that they make it look pretty on the surface, so you're not, inclined to dig into it any further. That's how media is. That's how media is.
It's funny. It's funny. Somebody put something on my page when I posted on my page. It was funny because they said, and the funny part is they aren't even nominated. It's like, Styx still isn't in.
Mm-hmm.
That's like bad.
Because, you
make Mr. Roboto sad.
I'm sailing away.
A Chicago fucking rock and roll institution that is Styx. Rockin' the Paradise, Mr. Roboto, and God knows whatever else they did on both Penny, Nickel Records, and then later for fucking all the other.
They are probably the band that creates the story ballad type rock and roll of like the story type ballad of rock and roll. I mean,
arena rock. Like prog rock,
They were the epitome of concept album.
Yeah.
They were the epitome of concept album. Okay? You look at Styx, Rockin' the Paradise. It's about the fucking Paradise Theater that got knocked down in 1958. It's the whole fucking story in the album.
Show Me the Way. That was a big hit in 91.
Hey, look, you guys are preaching to the choir, man.
Mm-hmm.
But you know this, and Mike, I know you know this too. That'd be just like, let's go ahead and let's get Genesis in. But what period of Genesis are you going to put in?
They did get in, and all 5 members were honored.
I was going to say, I bet it was
in,
everybody, technically. I bet it was all, including Peter Gabriel, I bet they...
And Steve Hackett, yeah.
Like, I know they did that even with the Temptations, where it was like every Temptation got in.
Yeah, all 30 bands.
All 30 members of the Temptations got in. Yeah.
Yeah, your brother's mother's uncle Temptation. I think that guy.
He was on the 86 tour for 2 months, and he's a Temptation now. Yeah,
that guy. Yeah.
Well, okay, and you know what? You guys are not off base on this because the Temptation, did have. I think they had like 28 different personnel changes since 1960.
Right.
Before they were in the Temptations, they were known as the Distance, and then for one record, they were known as the Pirates. So if we include all of that shit in there, it's pretty amazing how they managed to get all of the Temptation members.
There's, you know what? Could you imagine what the Temptations drama would look like in today's society with social media?
Oh my God!
I mean, think about this. Think about this. It kind of got swept under the rug because it's Black Motown, and and really in reality, think about what that would look like today. That basically you had band members leave and pretty much all start their own fucking Temptations groups on their own. Because they all, at the end, couldn't stay each other. So
which one is the official The Temptations YouTube channel? I don't know.
Yeah, but see, now you're venturing into territory.
Could you imagine the Twitter battles?
Oh yeah, I mean
that'd be freaking amazing.
Twitter feud.
Well, here it is. You got the territory of how many of the real Temptations are in the group this week. Or how many real members of any group is in this week?
Yeah, that's my favorite. You know at some point that none of the four there was a group that was none of the four where it may not have, they could be like third generation of Temptations, of which they worked with a Temptation that worked with a Temptation that worked with a Temptation. It is distinctly possible that happened, and then there might have been a group of four.
It has happened, and it was in a group aptly called the Drifters.
Oh no, I mean actual Temptations,
I'm talking about actual Temptations. Okay, I mean, if I was to go back into the lineage of the Temptations and how many other bands that they were in before they became Temptations,
I'm talking about after. I'm talking about even when they became the Temptations, they all basically became Temptations. It's like I don't want to. I
still love that miniseries they made for the Temptations. That was
great. That was great.
That was good.
Is that the one that's on VH1?
Yeah,
it was on VH1 a whole bunch. Yeah, that was good.
That was good.
That was fabulous. I thought that was really well done. That was really well done. Whoever did that really did the research. They were right on in a lot of points.
That was good. That was absolutely good.
That was really good. You know,
could you imagine David Ruffin in a Twitter world? Good Lord. He'd be like vilified like LeBron James.
Well, David Ruffin, man, should be David Ruffin and the Temptations.
Right, that's what I mean. It would be. I mean, the one thing I kind of laugh about is this. This kind of stuff we get talked about with sports Hall of Fames, specifically baseball. Baseball and football are usually the ones that get talked about the most. Okay, but it's never stuff where it's. Well, I shouldn't say that. Sometimes it's stuff where it's like, how did this person get in instead of that person? Where there's no way that should happen, but not nearly as much.
But this way,
not nearly as blatant. Like somebody like of LL Cool J stature. Oh, he'd get on the first ballot. He
should have been
in a sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, Michael Jordan. Oh, should he get an award because he played baseball for a couple seasons?
Maybe only if you want to try spike attendance by having a Jordan appearance.
Okay, so
at the Baseball Hall of Fame, sure, why not? Actually, here, ready? I would bet that there's a minor league baseball Hall of Fame. I bet that they could do an exhibit about Jordan playing minor league baseball, and I'm sure that would spike attendance to the minor league baseball Hall of Fame.
But see, it goes back to what Mike said. How much square footage are we going to get to make the money? So
that's why it's funny because the problem is that. See, the funny part is like we talked about the WWE Hall of Fame last time. Okay?
Oh yeah,
and that's even more. The truth is that's even worse. Like here,
that's
I
even
don't
more
know what's worse. I don't know. I don't even. Well, here's the problem. I don't know what's worse. You tell me what's worse. With the WWE Hall of Fame, there's no committees. There's none of that shit. There's Vince McMahon sitting around with Triple H and Stephanie and probably a couple people going, "Who are we putting in the Hall of Fame this year?" Okay. And they just make their choices and they pick, okay? And they pick some names and that's what it is, okay?
They put some names in a hat.
And they kind of and this is what it is, and so be it. And if you don't like it, go fuck yourself, okay?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Versus the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame probably actually has a real selection panel and with actual rules and all these things, and we get this bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And okay, same with the Grammy Awards where there are 100 people in a room.
Oh,
no,
think about this. Vince McMahon picks people and does a better job than a group where there's supposedly a democratic process.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, exactly. That is a shameful thing. And you're right. Okay, and it behooves
that's the problem.
Of course that's the problem, man.
It's just part of his power trip.
Vince McMahon, or are you talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Vince.
I'm saying, Yeah, well, that's Vince.
Yeah,
I just
that's Vince, of course. That's he's the almighty WWF. Hear me roar.
WWE, actually.
Or WWE.
He's part of the World Wildlife Foundation.
Let me tell you something. That's an interesting. I want to try to steer not because we do have other shit to talk about too.
Yeah.
But
there's some juice.
Let me tell you something. The only reason why Vince McMahon ever allowed that to happen, that lawsuit came at the wrong time because that was right when the federal government was looking at Vince McMahon and targeting him for steroids. And by the way, that's around the exact same time that WCW starts to make their move. So Vince McMahon is dealing with this ridiculous possibility. I shouldn't say ridiculous. There was a lot of truth to it. And P.S. their star witness was fucking Hulk Hogan.
Right.
Which always makes me laugh because somehow that's all bygones be bygones and everything's okay now. Okay? But it was interesting timing about how Hogan shows up at WCW. And P.S. he's the key witness against Vince McMahon in the steroid trial. I mean, it was so bad for the WWE, which was WWF at the time, that the company is still to this day not in Vince's name, it's in Linda's name.
Of course, to save his ass in case anything comes down.
Right, because
legal protection,
legal protections and all that other stuff.
Yeah. It's the same thing Sam Cooke did with all of his music publishing, and he had his brother Al Speakbook on all of that shit.
Although I will say this, when Linda went to go work in the SBA in the White House for Trump, I wonder if it had to get switched back. No, what am I talking about? It's under Trump. It never got switched back. But the point being is that where I was trying to go with this is, Vince was getting pinched. So Vince is having trouble with the Monday Night War because WCW suddenly has Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage and all these people. And and this is in the build up to the Monday Night War where, suddenly Vince has got real competition. Okay. There's this steroid trial. Okay. Vince hasn't really developed stars yet because he's still in the process of developing the stars like some of these guys. Okay.
The stars of tomorrow.
And so he's got a little bit of a cash flow problem. And on top of the fact that he's fighting this whole big thing with the federal government for steroids, the World Wildlife Federation is suing for trademark rights that they're the one true WWF.
The trademark infringement.
So the only reason why. So, by the way, the World Wildlife Federation didn't win. Vince settled and gave them the name. Vince, because quite frankly, Vince was so close. Vince was running out of money. My understanding is Vince was running out of money. It's possible Vince was going to get indicted. And honestly, he couldn't fight that many wars. So it was the one war that he was like, as much as I hate this, fine.
And you just change the name. That's all.
Fine. We'll be WWE. We'll be World Wrestling Entertainment from now on. Okay?
Well, yeah. He just had to pick and choose his battles at that point.
But let me tell you something. I'm sure even today,
he hates
nobody better bring that up around Vince McMahon.
No,
I'm sure that's a point of contention. I'm sure even today
that's a thorn in his side.
He's still so he probably there are days where out of nowhere, out of the blue, he's like, "Fuck those panda bear fuckers." Okay, you know that's there. You know it.
Yeah,
You know, because that's the kind of guy Vince McMahon is, and Yeah.
He doesn't lose. He doesn't like to lose.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I mean, the truth is, that's where, and I'll give him credit. He beat the federal government. He beat WCW. And he turned the WWE into it was a multi-million-dollar company. He turned it into a publicly traded New York Stock Exchange billion-dollar company. It wasn't that in the mid-90s. it wasn't even close to $1 billion company in the mid-90s. I shouldn't say close. It wasn't $1 billion company in the mid-90s. Vince was not a billionaire until the 90s boom. After the 90s boom. Then Vince became a billionaire. Okay? So, somehow, he was able to outlast everybody. To me, he is today's modern day P.T. Barnum. That's the best thing I can say about Vince.
Nope. No disagreement here.
No disagreement here.
So anyway, so Mike, I saw you got something in the mail.
Yeah, I'll get to that. I've had a very busy week. This work has been crazy from last weekend with Mother's Day and the flowers. You think flowers are going extinct? With
of course they are. Mother's Day.
Yeah, Mother's Day weekend. Yeah, that was crazy. It was still busy, very busy at work. Watched the Justice Society World War II animated film, just came out.
Okay.
And it's not bad. It's par for the course with these DC animated films. I'll give a brief little synopsis here from my notes.
Okay.
So it's obviously a standalone because we have the multiverse. So Barry and Iris are having a picnic in Metropolis. And things are cool, though, well, not so cool, actually. They've got some relationship issues because Barry has a little bit of OCD, she needs him to focus. And she's almost to the point that they almost broke up right then and there. And then a fight breaks out. Of course, they're in Metropolis. What could possibly go wrong? I'm having a picnic in Metropolis. Sure enough, a fight breaks out. Superman's in trouble. He's fighting Brainiac. And Brainiac pulls out a kryptonite bullet and almost hits Superman. So Barry's got to hurry up and try and catch it. And he runs too fast. And all of a sudden, he's in the Speed Force. And he hears a voice saying stop or whatever or something, and he stops, and all of a sudden he's in France, and they're fighting the Nazis with Wonder Woman, Black Canary, Hawkman, Hourman, and Jay Garrick, another speedster, and Steve Trevor. So it turns out that the JSA, the Justice Society of America, is this clandestine group helping the war effort, but of course they're making sure that everything's hush-hush, get all the soldiers the credit. Like, they're fighting the bad guys, they're fighting the Germans, but they're using cover-ups, so you have a PR guy, a reporter, if you will. I'll get back to that. So they're looking, so they find out that the Nazis are looking for these artifacts, like magic items. And they need to stop this. And I think they might even show a picture of the Ark, which was the Ark of the Covenant, which is interesting. But there's a message they can't break. They sent a message and they need to find a code breaker, and they found a guy that he's been captured in this castle somewhere. So they break into the castle. Turns out he's Dr. Fate. And they run across a package with some clothing, and Dr. Fate is mumbling nonsense. Of course, he's aware of the multiverse and all that, and that's what it comes down to, is that their reporter is obviously a Clark Kent, their PR guy, but he don't care. It's a different, and that's when Barry realizes this isn't time travel, this is the multiverse, and he and Jay have this big, Jay Garrick's hip to the tip as far as using an Ivanism. That if things, can't even, don't even say your name. We don't want to know your name. It's going to disrupt the timeline. So, Barry Allen is Future Boy in this universe or whatever. So they find out it's not time travel, it's multiverse. So they need to try to, they're looking for artifacts and stuff, and their adventurers find them in a submarine. And, of course, when you're underwater, you're going to encounter a certain DC hero. And we come across a deep cut, which is good because Hourman is sort of a semi-deep cut. He's been brought to the forefront.
Oh wait, underwater? You mean Apache Chief?
Yes, the Apache Chief. Yeah. We come across a villain who's not very well known. I had to look this up. I had to Google find. He's the Psycho Pirate. You aware of him, Jeff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's a major. Oh my God! He's one of the. His purpose in things is one of the biggest linchpins in all of the DC multiverse.
Okay.
He plays a huge part in Crisis on Infinite Earths from the 1980s. And he's the only one. He's the only one that really, other than the heroes who were involved in it, remember what happened.
Yeah. So there's some he has influence over Aquaman, because it's not like some kind of emotional vampirism or something or whatever. It's not like mind control. It's not like Mentok the Mind Taker. It's some other type of psionic ability, which is like his. But anyway, he's influencing Aquaman. It's like the Earth Dwellers are no good, and so we must side with the Nazis and whatever. So this big fight breaks out at Coney Island, and like I said, there's some good characterization in this, some great character moments between this, especially between Hawkman and Black Canary. But then Hawkman. Okay, so I'm going to drop. Yeah, obviously, I'm going through the synopsis. I'm going to drop some spoilers. So, Hawkman has a great death scene, but then it's spoiled by another death scene, like was almost identical to like his. I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like you just, like why did you had? Well, like we could put 2 in. I'd make it twice as good. Like no. Anyway, so
what the hell? Like a Terry tune?
So they kind of tied it up with a bow at the end, and Barry Allen gets back, and he saves Superman, and they talk about, hey, maybe we should get a group together. Like Dr. Fate, like when they find Dr. Fate in the prison, he's like, we can't tell them about the League, because obviously Barry hasn't, he's kind of, the first time he meets Superman was this fight with Brainiac, so they haven't really, and obviously first time he meets Wonder Woman, so. They're like, hey, we should get together and get some kind of club or something. So, like I said, it was all right, par for the course. The third act gets kind of dumb, but I still say if you can watch it for free, I say it's worth a good 3.5 to 4 out of 5 mans. It's not bad. Okay. But I'm looking forward to the next one, which is Long Halloween Part 1. Yeah, they're doing a 2-parter. I think it's the first time they've split these into 2 parts, these DC animated films.
Dark Knight.
Oh, okay. They did one. Okay.
Dark Knight Returns.
They did 2 on that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, of course it's Batman, so.
They're too big to do one movie.
Yeah. I know they did one for Hush, and they did other ones. They like Gotham by Gaslight, and they did like Samurai Batman or whatever. So I watched.
They used who they used for the voice work on that, right? For Dark Knight.
Nolan.
What's his name? Peter Weller.
Oh, okay. Oh, Peter Weller. Oh, yeah, the RoboCop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Neat.
Didn't Peter Weller do some Transformer stuff too?
No, that's Frank Welker. That's Frank Welker who does like everything. There's a meme on the internet that the roar in the Lion King movie is an actual lion roar. It's Frank Welker and using a trash can lid.
Oh yeah, so it was just like the MGM roar was done by Mel Blanc by using a long tube and using a ribbon mic.
Right. So anyway, yeah. So Justice Society, if you can watch it for free, great. But otherwise, I wouldn't bother. I was worth the $6 rental. It was entertaining. It was good. Good kapow fight scenes, and animation was decent. Let's see, Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition dropped on Friday, and goodbye sleep. I need to ration myself because I get immersed in this, replaying this game, and with the improved graphics, and they've tweaked the gameplay and make it a little better. So yeah.
Wait, I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what Mass Effect is? It's no. It's a space.
No,
RPG.
I don't. Okay.
It's a space RPG. You're Commander Shepard. You're here to save the galaxy in the mid 22nd century and fighting bad guys and befriending aliens.
Is this like a controller game or what is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a console game.
Okay.
I think they have it for PC as well. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, it's you fight the space aliens and you can, have sex with one or two of them. Depends. But that's, relationships. You form romances and relationships. There's no full-blown sex scenes in this, but I mean...
It's not Leisure, so it's Leisure Suit Larry in space.
No, it's not.
Okay.
So that's great. I love, it's really great to see these characters again, and just because it's so immersive, and you get to make decisions based on the gameplay. Like there's a scene where like you lose two teammates, which one do you lose? And it changes how the game plays out in later editions, like Mass Effect 2 and 3. But Mass Effect 2, I'd arguably is like one of the best video games I've ever played. Is Mass Effect 2. So that's back. Had a game night Saturday. We played Runebound, and for 3.5 hours, no one got close to winning the game. It's one of those. It's like I died like 3 times. Because it's
is that a collaborative card game? Is that what that is?
It's a board game. It's collaborative, but you can't play competitively. We just decided not to. Let's see. Went to the flea market on Sunday. It was nice to get out and about.
I saw your spoils.
Yeah, I found a few. Got a couple of trinkets here and there. Not bad.
Did they have real fleas?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
You stay away from those people. And because it was outdoors, like 99% of everybody had no mask on.
Oh God!
And of course, it's outdoors and there's open air, so you can get around people. So it's fine. What else? Making plans.
I swear to God, if I was at a flea market like that, I swear to God, I think if I'm going to a flea market or anything like that, I need a shirt that says 6 feet bitch.
Well, this is a family event. I don't know if maybe if there's an asterisk in the bitch somewhere.
Screw that. If you're not going to wear a mask, it's 6 feet bitch. Come on, man.
It's outdoors.
I don't care. 6 feet.
Yeah. And making plans to.
It should be like that episode of The Simpsons where Bart can't be within 50 feet, so she has that stick. And anytime she can reach him with the stick, he has to move.
A big pointy stick.
Yeah, like a big pointy. It doesn't even have to be really pointy, just as long as you can poke somebody with it.
It's
a bluntly pointed.
It's the picture from the early days of the pandemic where people using pool noodles to keep the other shoppers away from them while they're buying, all the toilet paper.
Yeah, Walmart, we used to joust in those back in the day when we were drunk.
Mm-hmm. Or we had
those are great. Pool noodles.
Yeah, we used to use the carts, and we used.
Or in the early 2000s, where we had the $5 retractable lifesaver toys.
Yeah.
So you can fight lightsaber battles.
Oh
my gosh, going up and down the aisles, just going to gog on there. That's great.
Well, I've told you guys before, like if we were bored and we had nothing better to do, didn't even have to be drunk. If we were bored on a Saturday night, we had nothing better to do. And it was later in the evening on a Saturday night. It was like Nerf war at Walmart.
Nerf war.
Let's go.
Yep.
And the worst part is, we're not talking like 2 or 3. We're talking like 10, 15, 20. Like we organize teams. The best is, I'm telling you right now, the best part of it is, it's the late night Saturday staff at Walmart. They're not staffed for this.
No,
they're not staffed
they got like one registered person and one.
I mean, they had some people, they got some security, but they ain't staffed for this. And we come in, head to the Nerf file, and there's enough of us. We didn't do it right.
And you're grabbing Nerf guns off the shelf? Just opening them up and just...
anything that was loose, like balls, anything like that, where you could throw it. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Balls and noodles and things like that.
Oh, that's like anything where it's like open that you can get to.
Right, Nerf footballs or whatever, yeah.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We're running around aisles and trying to get people and all that stuff. And of course, the security guard's older than the door. He's like, come on, you need to stop that. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Oh my God! I used to love to do Nerf dodge. When you sit there, you're running through the whole store with it, trying to dodge the one Nerf ball.
I tell you. I mean, it was funny because we try not to do it on a regular basis. We only did it once in a blue moon because we knew if we did it too often, then we'd be having problems.
Yeah, then they did. The cops would be out there.
Like we did it like maybe. Like there were a couple of years where we only did it once a whole year. There were a couple times we like later on we only did it like once a year. But like when we still couldn't drink, Like, we knew we couldn't do it more than 4. We were like, we pushed it that first year, we did like 4, and it was funny, we walked in though, I heard somebody who must have been there like, oh shit, here we go again. I died of laughter, cause like, I swear to God, it had kind of gotten out, so we had about 20 people.
Whoa.
We had 20 people, there was
it's before anyone had phones either, so.
Well, right, exactly, and the other part is, here's the other thing, it's like a giant game. It's like, you want to have, one time, it kind of turned in at one point into like a giant game with capture the flag in some ways. With multiple teams. Walmart's big enough. It's like urban jungle. It's like, okay, let's go.
Miles and miles.
Exactly. And there's not enough staff at that point to stop you. No. And here's the best part. It's not like you're really, it wasn't like we were making a total mess of the place. We were just running around like crazy. And then obviously if there was anybody where it's like, we made sure that we didn't do anything to anybody who was like a real patron.
Right, you didn't break anything and just
run. We had rules of engagement that we had created before we even started this, because we're like none of us want to get. Look, we know that there's a camera. None of us want to get picked out or thrown in jail or any shit like that and all that stuff. It was funny because sometimes we do something. I'll tell you what was really funny. We kind of felt bad, so we would buy something, and of course all of us it's like. Imagine 20 people buying gum. Or something along those lines. Like, I would like to buy a Coke. I'd like to buy gum. Hey, I'll take a Reese's peanut butter cup. That kind of thing.
One little.
Nobody buys anything of any substance or anything.
It's all under $5, yeah.
Yeah. Under $5. Under $1. Trying to keep it under $1 was the goal.
I'm a paying customer.
Yeah, exactly.
I paid to be there. Laugh.
20. The goal was 20 people, $20. There you go.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, you made your night.
Anyway, sorry, Mike. You do have more. I know you have more.
And I got Unicron.
Yeah.
Finally here.
So do you have to put that together?
Yeah.
Oh
well, there's some assembly required. There's not much to it.
Much.
It does it. So in of itself, it doesn't transform. You have to assemble it.
Well, you got to put the rings on it because it's a planet, and the ball is there. You gotta transform it partially to put it on the stand, and then add some things because obviously it has to be stored in planet mode to safely be moved. But I'll be doing that later in the week. I just don't have time. I got to put an evening aside.
You should video yourself when you do it and put it on YouTube.
I need someone to hold a video. There's plenty of unboxing videos of this. You go HasLab Unicron unboxing on YouTube, and there's lots of people who have already done it. But I'd need someone to hold the camera. I can't.
No, the funny part would be, all you need, what you really need is you need a tripod.
That's what I was going to suggest.
You need a tripod, which you probably ironically have an Ace that you can buy at your discount.
Yeah. That's what
I use. Yeah, because that's what I use when I go on the videos myself. I have a tripod.
Yeah.
The best would be put me and Ivan on at the same time while you're doing it with a headset, and basically be like, we could be sitting there making fun, cracking jokes on the time while you're doing it.
This K3000 it.
It is the single most expensive Transformer I own.
Well, duh. Yeah. How much is it again?
The crowdfunding was $575 plus shipping and tax. So.
Wow.
So is that about $650?
Yeah, right around there.
Just put it when he says $5.75. We're not talking $5.75. We're talking $575. I just want to make that.
They're already going for like $1,400-$1,500 on eBay right now.
Wow.
Wow. Why did you buy two? You could have sold one. You're going to make
a lot of people bought two, and it paid for the first one. But I didn't have that much money on me, so.
Oh, okay, there's your answer. In fairness, I get it.
Well, the crowdfunding went for like almost 2 months, I think, back in the summer of 2019.
Wow. I told you about when I was president of the game group that I had a crazy idea to raise money, right?
No, tell.
So I'll make this fast. So when I was president of Game Base 7, so I was president of the game group, and we had, so we would be there the day before because we were setting up. We were like the largest independent runner of games at Gen Con at the time. And so this was around the time that HeroClix was really, really hot with Marvel. And the big hot ticket item was they had the Galactus HeroClix. And it retailed for $75. But if you went on eBay, you could find at minimum you found it for $150, but really it was running like $500 a pop.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we're at the convention, and one of the things we've got is an exhibitor badge. Okay, because we have to go talk to exhibitors, and they gave us an exhibitor badge so we can do that. So this is the day before, and I'm positive. So I'm like, it's funny. We were positive about ways that we can make extra money for the club. I said, I got one. I'm like thinking about it. Like, wait, we have an exhibitor badge? Yeah. I'm like, really? Yeah. So before the Great Hall, with all the games,
when the sea of people is emerged,
so we have a way to get in before all the sea of people show up. Yes. Well, how much do we have in the budget? Why? What do you? How many? Oh wait, my question is, how much we have in budget? What are you thinking? Well, I have a second question before we get that far. How many of these exhibitor badges do we have? We're only getting 4. Oh. I'm like, what were you thinking? I'm like, well, if we had 10. We get 10 people in before the start, and they all show up at the WizKids booth, and we give them all money.
We buy
Galactus for $75, and then we sell them on eBay.
Yeah.
We sell them on eBay.
That's convention exclusives. Double, yeah, that's common. I mean, I know a lot of people who used to buy 2 of the BotCon sets, and they'd keep one and sell the other one to pay for their flight. Or the hotel.
Well, but the point being is, so we're literally sitting there talking about this because people are like, "Are you kidding?" No, I'm not kidding.
No, this is.
Can we figure out a way to get 10? Because if we could get 10, we can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right. Like, at minimum, we could sell them for $150. I'm telling you right now, on eBay, they're going for more than that.
It's like when I went to the Kane County show last month. You see all these Funko Pops. I mean, each one is a white little cube of some little dude in it, and some of them are $10, and some of them are $150. I'm like, it's Greek to me.
But the point was, it was really funny because certain people are like, we're gonna lose the exhibitor. I got talked out of it because people are like, we're gonna lose the exhibitor badge, and we really need the exhibitor badges. You can't do it. I'm like, okay, fine. And my favorite, here's the answer that you'll laugh at the hardest, which is, I don't want to ever sit there. I don't want to ever hear you sit there and say I don't have great fundraising ideas. Now you guys shut up. Tell me that wasn't a great fundraising idea. That wouldn't have been.
I'm not taking that away from you.
I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about my board who was like, oh no,
it's an easy money.
Stupid one of the ways.
With a lot of convention exclusives. Yeah.
Right. Well, it wasn't even that it was a convention exclusive. The problem was you couldn't. It was so in demand. That the only time that, and it wasn't, I don't think it was just, I think maybe it was only at conventions.
Maybe it was the debut there.
Was it?
Maybe.
It was all the conventions?
Yeah.
Because I know they had other conventions before that point. And the problem was that what it ended up having was literally it was selling out within an hour of the exhibit hall opening. That's why the demand was ridiculous. Like the convention, like the LA Comic Convention was open for 3 days. Within the first hour, it was gone. Like, that's it. You're not seeing none. No more. They're gone.
Well, it was just like, when you and I used to do the conventions, Mike, for Lumpy Starbase. People were waiting.
What's for dinner, Ivan?
An orange.
Okay, good.
When we were when we were doing conventions together and, for Lumpy Starbase, and we had people hovering around the docks. I mean, the things weren't even off the trucks yet.
Yeah, well, that's not just the convention exclusives. People just want to buy the stuff before everybody else. But Jeff was talking about getting dibs on their early goods.
Right, exactly.
They want to be first to get their stuff. They want to be first to get their goodies.
Right. Yeah. Well, you want to get it before you lose out on them. So yeah.
Yeah, we only got bring so many, and some of the stuff is brand new, and it's going for a good coin. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that with that said, very, very busy week. So Ivan, what have you been up to?
Here, put my orange down.
Please do.
Okay. Well, nothing that I haven't done every week that I come here on the Squiz at the Round Table. Just the usual going around getting appointments to apartments, looking for the new place, the new home. And we've had a couple of bites. We've had a couple of walkthroughs so far, nothing yet. Got some more later on this week to check out. I had a friend of mine who had bought a building about a year ago, and it was funny because Julie goes, "Well, why don't you talk to your friend there? Maybe something might be going on with him." It so happens we have a viewing Wednesday or Thursday. And, he still has the building, and he's leaving to go to college and moving out of one of the apartments. And that's the one we're going to be looking at, for July. So we'll see what that turns out. If it doesn't got too many stairs, that might be a possibility. Okay. Yeah.
Good.
So, yeah, but I know that next month is going to be a total rip and run because, get the storage space, going to be finally gathering up, everything in one spot, which is going to be nice. And then that's phase one, just getting everything into storage. Once we got everything into storage, and we just keep going after the applications and stuff like that. It's weird because when you tell people that you got a home choice voucher, there's a lot of stigma attached to it. When you tell people you got Section 8, they kind of give you the side eye, and then some of these places are even trying to get away with outrageous fees. One such point when we went to one place where they were asking for $300 a cat, non-refundable, and in addition to $1,400 advance rent. In a home choice voucher, there are certain laws that have to be enforced, okay? And a lot of these people don't understand that, you can't just go ahead and just try to say no to a home choice voucher by adding on different charges and adding on different things to go around the lease. But we tried so we were going to an actual straight, Section 8 agency, and we've had a few nice bites. There were a few homes in there that were really nice too. And so we're just kind of considering our options. I know myself, I don't think I could actually work in a house anymore due to my limitations, but yeah, if I could get a nice, two-bedroom apartment, and something comfortable and, something that's on a first floor, I'd be totally in the mix. Or if there was a nice garden apartment, I would totally be in the mix about that too. All right, so looking at apartments, on the spinning wheel, I decided to surprise everybody on Sunday. I wasn't scheduled for Sunday, but Julie went to Indiana Sunday, so I had a little time, and I figured, okay, let me surprise the cats over here at spinning wheel. So I jumped on as the very last act. I did a rockabilly set, which I totally loved, and of course everybody that was watching, they loved it too. So that was happening. They wanted me to do another one, which is cool because some of the people, when I did the Playing for the Planet, when I did the half hour for them, it was a part of a 24-hour charity for the children's the children's home for
gifted youngsters.
For what?
No, not.
I really didn't catch it.
No, never mind. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Hospice. It was for a hospice.
Oh, okay, well, good.
Yeah, well, same difference. No, not really, but yeah.
Anyway, so yeah.
Now I've been getting it for hear the music. That's the funny part. I haven't got to hear the music.
So
Can help those poor youngsters.
Well, from that half an hour, I acquired a whole bunch of people on the friend request, and then some of those people actually showed up to the wheel when I was playing, which that was real exciting. And so I had, when that was part of our conversation today with Jimmy, like, what are those blokes whose names I didn't recognize? It says, oh, they came from the Play for the Planet 2 thing that I did. He's like, blimey,
like, yeah, crikey.
Oh, just blimey, Are you ready killing me? Anyway, so that was nice. And what else did I do that was out of the ordinary? Well, not really out of the ordinary, but just packing up stuff, and not really a very exciting, not a real exciting week unless you saw me on Facebook.
Made you catch a little bit and on Sunday, caught a little bit of that.
Yeah, so it was just that type of a thing. That was totally unannounced, I checked Julie's car before she left. Was checking out the blower. I was checking out the blower filter, and doing all the prep with the oil and the antifreeze and all that other stuff like that. Made her, her car. She was going all the way to Indianapolis, so she's got a bit of a hefty ride there. So I wanted to make sure everything was good about that. And John called me, so I might be going back to work as far as the record store.
Electric Jungle?
The Electric Jungle storage space. And because he tells me, oh yeah, we've had a year's worth of records, we ain't done nothing with. And I'm like, oh, wonderful. Yeah, great.
Okay, he's your favorite archivist.
Yeah, so, he
Hey, whatever happened with that community radio thing you were looking at doing?
Oh, are you talking about, Remember Them Radio?
No, there was a radio station you were about to put some airtime on.
You were talking to some radio station about getting airtime.
Yeah, that didn't pan out. So.
I have a feeling, but
yeah, it didn't pan out, but it was worth a look too, So
those community radio stations are full of shit.
Well,
a lot of them.
Well, okay, yeah. When you start talking about places like what the hell? I can't even think of the name of the Lumpy. I call it Lumpy Radio, Lumpin' Radio, and
Lumpy.
So. That's I get the impression that's it's not what it's who you blow, that type of thing.
Exactly. It basically is like, okay, see, we're gonna make our own radio, and now we're gonna be the same pricks that are from above that we can't
that
stand.
Our old bosses were.
Charge. That only word
right,
charge.
Yeah, pretty much. And then of course I never heard back from Chirp, so I was like. Okay.
Oh, maybe it was Chirp. Maybe it was Chirp. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
It was
I don't
Chirp,
know.
yeah. It was Chirp, yeah. I heard nothing bad from them, so I'm just like, yeah, it was a fart in the wind, so what are you going to do?
Okay. Have an orange. That's what you do.
Weren't you kind of looking into that, though, around the time of COVID? Maybe they didn't. You should double back just to be safe, but who knows?
I'll give Lumpy and Chirpy a call and see what they got to say about it.
Lumpy and Chirpy. They work with Jerry Lewis and Jimmy Johns.
Yeah. There's an episode named Lumpy, Chirpy, and Jimmy Johns. Congratulations.
That's the name, Lumpy, Chirpy, and Jimmy Johns.
There's a name for an episode right there.
I love it. So that's it for me, guys. So what else are we going to talk about?
Talk about what Jeff's doing. What Jeff did.
What is Jeff doing?
Jeff did some thumbs. He did something.
I saw he got an award, man. 13 years in the making award.
Yeah, so well, I was going to get to that last, but okay. So this weekend was the Toastmasters District 30 conference here, which is a good percentage of the Chicagoland area, but not downtown and out south. But yeah, so it's a percentage. It's best way to put it is it's a part of Chicago.
It's big.
or Chicago area. I mean, it's a large size group. So we, besides the fact that it's Toastmasters and we bring in people to teach and do education sessions and learn and do our business for the year and whatnot, they also, during the year we have speaking competitions. And during the year we have 4 different speaking competitions. We have a humor speaking contest. We have the international speech contest, which leads eventually to the possibility of being on stage for the World Championship in Public Speaking. And then we have what's called Table Topics, which is basically you're sequestered in a room and you're brought in one by one, and they give you each the same question, and you have 2 minutes to answer it. And then the last thing is what's called evaluation, which is we basically sit down, listen to a presenter present, and then we're brought into kind of a sequester room. We're given 5 minutes to jot down, to basically jot down any further thoughts or ideas which, by the way, we've been allowed to jot down while we're watching the speaker. And then at that point, we're brought in one by one to give our impressions and our thoughts on that particular presenter, and then we're judged based on that. So those are the 4 different competitions. Of the four of them, I was competing in 2. So I was competing in Table Topics, and I was competing in evaluation. And because there was no evaluation contest in 2020, and I won it in 2019, I was the undisputed reigning champion in evaluation, and I was going for back-to-back. And I came damn close because I took second in district. I don't know that I agree that I should have taken second in district, but in fairness, I didn't see anything because I went last, so I didn't get a chance to see. But I have some people who are very, very adamant that they're like, no, you should have had back-to-back. I'm like, okay. I didn't see it. I know somebody who taped it. I'm contemplating whether I really want to see it or not because, well,
you should. You
no.
should.
Well,
yeah.
you want to watch? You'll know. Actually, you want to know why it'll happen? Okay, so let me give you a perspective on why I should.
Okay, perspective.
When I watch it, and I know he's not better than me, you'll know because the earth will rumble, and it will crack open, and Godzilla will arrive.
Well,
Godzilla, King Kong, Mothra, and all those things will arrive, and they will arrive as if they were combined into one.
Go Godzilla!
Okay, including Mechagodzilla. Okay, all those things will be wrapped into one. Yeah, Mecha Streisand too. All those things will be wrapped into one.
With the nose?
Yeah, it's a South Park thing.
Oh, okay.
It's a South Park episode. Okay. It's actually probably the best South Park episode, but we should talk. We'll put you on that one at some point. But so I took second overall. I took second overall in the entire district after winning the previous year. So I took second in that. So I was ever so close to defending my title. Mm-hmm. And then on Sunday, I competed in the Table Topics contest, and ironically, I was also the last speaker in that. But this time, I ended up winning, and I've been trying to win that particular title for 13 years. So I am the 2021 District 30 Table Topics champion for Toastmasters International. And so there's that. So I have now won lifetime 2 of the 4. I don't know if I'll ever go for the humorous contest, just because it's too much of a pain in the butt. But at this point, don't get me wrong.
Why not? Why not? You're very.
That's a long conversation. Yeah, I think really reality with the humorous contest, I just rather concentrate right now on the international contest, which is for the World Championship of Public Speaking. So there's that, and I think that's kind of where my thought process is these days. But we'll see. I don't know what the plan is next year for competing, but
Yeah, because I mean, I just thought, you're such a humorous guy, you're so witty. I just figured that would have been a shoo-in for you, that whole humorous part of it.
Yeah, I like I said, I don't feel like opening a can of worms tonight. But like I said,
okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So then there's that, and then I've been doing. So the other things I've been doing is I've been doing a show really early in the morning called the Alex and Jose Show on Clubhouse. That is a kind of a public speaking show. They're guys from out in England, and for them it's noon. For me, it's like 6 a.m. So it's like great, lovely. It's like lovely. I joke with them. They're like, "Good morning." It's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "In bed, not really awake, but still here and happy to help." But they're fun guys, and so I met them through Clubhouse, and now I've been kind of a regular at times on their show. It's just a matter of when I want to pop in and when I can and can't. I'm trying to think of anything else. So I went to we talked about that I went to the dentist that one day. So now I have to go for the root canal thing.
Oh.
And on top of it all, it's like, I was annoyed as it was because I had to pay x-rays the first time on top of the fact that this was on a Monday and I didn't want to pay to go anyway. And then on top of it off, they find out that there's a tooth that's impacted and they're not going to do and it's going to implode on itself. And I'm like, all right, fine. And the first thing this person says to me is like, well, we might need to do more x-rays. What?
At $200 a pop?
Oh, who knows? It's like $150 to $200 right off the bat. And then on top of it off, this person says to me, well, it might just be a consultation, but we've built in enough time to be able to start it. I'm like, what do you mean just start it? How do you
start something?
Right, what do you mean I got to come back? How does that work?
How does that work?
How can you half do the job and then then I got to come back, I got to pay again?
They see a cash cow in you, man. Be careful.
The best part is I feel like they got me coming and going on this because it's like it's funny.
That's what it sounds like to me, man. I don't know.
The best part is apparently it's like I said to my dentist, I'm like, couldn't you handle it? He's like, no, you need a specialist. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh boy, that when they say specialist, that means they're gonna cut into your gum. Oh hell no. Last time anybody told me that, I was at this job, and they says, how long have you been at the job? Well, almost 6 months. Oh, well, come next week. Yeah, reason why he had me come next week, he wanted to make sure that my insurance had kicked in, and then he went for all 4 of the wisdom teeth. Okay, all 4. I looked like he had, taken me in an alley and beat the shit out of me. Out looked like a chipmunk, goddamn. It was like, what the hell? But, walk around with Carton and talking to everybody like this.
So there's that. I did catch on HBO Max. What the hell is the name of that movie? It's that new Angelina Jolie movie, Mike.
Oh, is that the Foes Who Want Me Dead?
Yes.
Okay.
I did see that.
Okay. How was that?
How was that?
It was a solid popcorn movie. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say it was. Because there's some write-ups out there like it's the best thing ever and you all have to see it. And I'm like, really? I'm like, all right, so I'll give it a shot. Angelina Jolie is really good in it. And there's some interesting layering and there's some stuff that's good. The villains are really smart in it. Here's a switch. The good guys are really smart too, which I was impressed by that. Which is like, oh my god, they're all not a bunch of dumb people who are like just going along and letting the villains do whatever the hell they want. This is impressive. I am kind of impressed by this. I get nervous when I have to give a yeah-mans on something like this. I don't really want to give it 4 yeah-mans, but I would definitely say it's worth watching.
3.75. How about that?
Something like that. I mean, I wouldn't call it 3.5. I think it's like I said, it's one of those where it's like if you've got HBO Max or you can pay $6 to see it. I think it's worth it, and I think you'll get a good afternoon of entertainment.
That's how I feel about the Justice Society animated.
Right. I mean, that's about the level where I'm at with it.
It's a good rental.
It would be a, if you're going to go to in theaters, because keep in mind this would be normally in theaters in places. So if you can get to it normally in theaters, I don't know that I'd pay $10 for it. But then again, I paid $10. I've paid for worse for $10, if I could say that. So, what I will tell you is, it's funny. This has been like an HBO Max week. I did catch. So HBO Max has another original for HBO Max specifically, and I don't know if you heard about this show. It's called Hacks.
PAX.
Hacks. HA, as in you are a hack.
Okay.
Oh, Hacks.
Yeah. You typing, Ivan?
What's in the bag, Ivan?
Pirouettes.
Okay.
Do you have ballet dancers?
No, they're little round cookies with cream inside them. Pirouettes.
Okay.
They come in a can.
Okay.
Oh, those. That's a pirouette. Okay, is that what that's called?
That's what it's called.
Okay, interesting. Pirouette to me is like what they do like in ballet. They do the pirouette, you know.
It's pirouettes. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Comes in a can.
Ivan remembers.
I was trying to figure out how to go there. I couldn't.
It's okay.
I was ready to go there now.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out how to get there.
Did you watch anything else this week, Jeff?
Yeah, so I was trying to get to, like I said, I saw this show Hacks.
Right, Hacks, yeah.
On HBO Max. It's a new show. The first 2 episodes are out. Episodes land on Thursday. The lead of all people is Jean Smart from Designing Women. And she plays this aging Hollywood, I shouldn't say Hollywood, this aging Las Vegas comedy legend who is like the queen of Las Vegas and has sold out multiple shows and all, for a long run. But, how can I say, she's getting long in the tooth. And they're starting to try to cut her back on the amount of shows that she does in Vegas. And the other person who's part of this show is there's a female writer who's a young millennial type writer who is working on some major sitcoms in the comedy world. And she tweeted something out that she thought was kind of on the funny side, and, there were some cancel culture things. And so she's out of work, and they have the same agent. So the agent decides, hey, maybe this will be a way, because he likes this young writer. Hey, you know what? Let's bring in the young writer, and maybe that can help you. Maybe that can help you so that you can keep what you're going. So he puts these 2 people together who are from totally opposite worlds, obviously. And, so that's the basis of it.
Interesting.
But, and it's all, it's kind of from a female comedy perspective. And, Jean Smart kind of plays it off. There's definitely some Joe Rivers in it without question in my mind. In terms of play, a little bit of the concept theory. Somewhat, but it was funny. It's a little over the top. It's a little dark at times. There's some sentiment to it. There's some good acting. It's funny. I mean, it's funny, not ho ho ho. There's some funny stuff in there. There's some stuff where it's not so funny. But I like the pairing. I think, I get why Jean Smart must have absolutely loved to have gotten this script. It's a perfect script for an older woman in Hollywood who, quite frankly, may not be getting the roles she should be getting. And this is a great way to get back in the world of and be not be somewhere it's like, wasn't she the woman on Designing Women, or wasn't she in the, it's been a while about Jean Smart.
Yeah, she could set the typecast.
Well, I can't remember off the top 10 what others think. I mean, TV, movies, you get the idea. I mean, it's not like she's hurting for work, but this is the kind of project where, it's an HBO project. It's a hot it's one of those kind of projects.
It'll help her stand out.
And it's a high recommend. It's a high recommend for me. I don't know if I want to put it at 5 out of 5. But through the first, cause it's multiple episodes and I've only seen the first 2. Because that's all that's dropped. But
what platform is it on?
HBO Max.
Okay, cool.
4.75.
For the 2 episodes I watched, I go 4.75.
Okay.
I go 4.75, maybe 5. But again, that's through 2 episodes. I haven't seen everything else yet, so we'll see what the rest of this looks like. But based on the first 2 episodes, you got me. I'm watching. It's good. I'm enjoying it. And I don't think, and while it's women centric, I definitely think guys can watch it and it's not a big deal. So, like I said, that's a high recommend for me. Those are the 2 things off the top of my head. In terms of anything else I can think of, I gotta tell you, did I mention I dropped a bunch of shows? I officially dropped some shows.
You told me you dropped Flash last week.
And I dropped Nancy Drew too. The storyline, there was a storyline that went into the start of season 2, and it looked, and in fairness, they were trying to finish it up. They didn't get a chance because of COVID and whatnot. And when they went to go finish it up, they doubled down on a direction that I was just like, why are you going there? There's so many other stories you can tell and so many other ways you could do this, and this is what you decided to do. And I'm like, it left a poor taste in my mouth about how they decided to handle continuing to have like this supernatural feel to it and add some like real ghost type stuff and all that kind of stuff and mysticism and that kind of stuff. And I was just like, there are other ways that you could have kept that in the show and not done that.
Right.
And I'm just like, this is you guys just billing in something to make Freak of the Week.
And maybe it's parallel to Supernatural and their success, trying to glom onto that.
I don't know. I never really.
Or they're just looking to deep six the series somewhere.
I don't think so. It's a popular show. It's doing well. It's doing okay. It's renewed for season 3. I just thought, given where they ended season 1 and some of the things that were going on, I was intrigued and I was like, all right, I know they're going to continue to do that, but there are other ways to add supernatural places to where they were going to go versus what they decided to do to make that happen. And I'm just like, how can I say? It's the part where it's like, I feel like the writing room made a bad choice and decision. And I don't know that I really want to continue rewarding that. And it was enough of
mediocrity.
And it's, well, I gotta be honest, it's like I liked some of the characters, but for some strange reason, this kind of rubbed me raw about how they decided to handle this, about how they were going to continue to, they essentially created a device to make a Freak of the Week when they didn't really have to do it that way, and they could have done more organically, but it's almost like we'll do it this way because it makes it simple and easy, and it's, quite frankly, because teens are almost as if, because, CW is mostly teens and young adults, because, teens and young adults are dumb, so we have to figure out a way to make it totally obvious, and it's like, didn't need to be that. But okay, you win. And so I kind of dropped it. I will tell you that, again, I think I mentioned it. Manifest season 3 has been very good, surprisingly good. That's a show where I keep laughing because I'm like, I feel like I'm going to end up it's going to end up being like Lost for me, where it's going to be, in fairness, I didn't watch Lost, but I know at the end everybody who watched Lost was pissed because in the end it was bullshit. And I have the same feeling that could happen with Manifest, but they're doing just enough to keep me to be like, all right, I'm interested, I'm here. And trust me, there have been times where I'm like, all right, one wrong step, I'm done. And every single time they continue to go the right direction, where I'm like, all right, I'm here, I'll keep watching. And I say that because that's within the genre that we do things. So, I mean, again, there's some other shows. I think Superman and Lois starts by the time this is aired, Superman and Lois the new Superman and Lois episode will have played. So
I need to get caught up on that.
Yeah, Mike. That means Mike's got to hurry now. Mike's got to hurry. I'm sorry. That's the other amusing part. So the Supergirl mid-season finale was because what happened this past week. Because we got to make room. We got to make room for Superman and Lois. Are you going like to the?
I haven't. When Ivan's talking for a while, his brain comes up, and so when he finally talks, it's a billowing loud. So
hello.
That's fine.
It's like from the creature from the Black Lagoon or somewhere.
It's
Anyway,
all right. You're talking about Supergirl.
So the Supergirl mid-season finale is happening because they're bringing back Superman and Lois. And so here's the reason I figured I'd bring this up. So it's mid-season finale, right? And I'm like, all right, so when do the new episodes air for the final season? August.
What?
Are you kidding me?
Ways off.
I gotta wait 3 months for you to air the last half of the season?
Wow.
Are you kidding me? This is bullshit. This is garbage. That bothers me.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Anyway, so there's that. I don't know. Do we have any news, or do we want to just? Yeah, we run long tonight. So.
Yeah, we're running long tonight. The only thing I caught the Snake Eyes trailer dropped today, and it's fine.
Oh, did it? I didn't see it.
It's fine. I'll watch it maybe on. I don't know. I'm not. I think the movie drops in July 23rd theaters. I don't think it's going to be shared to any streaming. Might be on Paramount Plus. I think Paramount has it. I don't know.
You know what? It's probably on Paramount Plus.
So, but it's going to be in theaters July 23rd. I don't know if I'm going to see it or not. No, it's going to. But no, I don't think we have another news of note this week.
Hold on, let me go take a quick
look. We can
look.
Check here real quick. But no, I don't believe we got anything worth noting. They teased the teaser poster late last, of course, just right after we recorded last week. They dropped a teaser poster for Loki. Kevin Smith dropped a bunch of stills from his Netflix He-Man series. That looks really good.
Yes, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about.
I'm in on that.
That looks very, very impressive.
I've always been kind of like tangentially kind of a fan of He-Man, and same thing with like Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles. I was never really hardcore into it as much as G.I. Joe and Transformers was, but this has the potential of being really good storytelling. So I'm looking forward to that, the He-Man series.
Here's a bong load television idea. I was watching last night, and I get to go tripping on H&I, and I got to watch Discovery.
Which would mean Star Trek Discovery?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what was the other one? There was one before that too. It had the female commander in there. Voyager. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And okay, now, I having been brought up on, original Star Trek and, my spotty history on certain Star Trek episodes would always seem to go back to the original, but I couldn't help but think that, why is it that every series has to have a Vulcan in it in some form?
Because it's Star Trek. It's kind of, you want that kind of component. Like, well, DS9 didn't have any Vulcans in it, really, not very much. There's one episode where the Vulcans were like kind of villains almost, but for one episode. But you want a Vulcan, you want a full Vulcan. I know, like Tuvok, he's like full Vulcan, whereas like Spock was like half Vulcan, half human.
Okay.
And then Star Trek Enterprise had a Vulcan because it deals with the early foundings of the Federation, where the Vulcans and the humans working together, and Starfleet, they haven't formed the Federation yet, so the first starship named Enterprise is going out and New Frontiers kind of thing,
Oh, okay.
But Vulcans, it's part of the fabric of Star Trek.
Okay, so it's because, I'm familiar with Spock, and then some of the other ones I saw that were Vulcan-like. I think it was in Discovery where they have the one female Vulcan.
Yeah, that's Star Trek Enterprise, not Discovery.
Let's see, there's so many. Yeah, so Enterprise.
Discovery has that's another ship. That's on Paramount Plus. That's not on Heroes and Icons.
Well, I saw it on here. I saw it on Heroes and Icons last night.
Okay.
And they had a Black Bulk in it, looked like to me.
Yeah, that's Tuvok. He's on Voyager.
Oh, okay. And it's just like, wow. I just kind of noticed the matching of.
Yeah, it's that component of like the personalities that we're familiar with Star Trek. That's all.
So that's just kind
part of the baked into the pie kind of thing with Star Trek.
I see. Okay, thank you. Just needed that to be explained to me as an old boomer watching newer shows on old television.
Right. Geez, Voyager is from 94, 95, I think.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's from the UPN. the brand new network that was going to compete with Fox and all the other ones. UPN, the little network that could. So I don't think we have any other news, or were we?
We do actually. Hold on a sec. There are a couple of things we can mention.
All right. Yeah, what we got?
I'm just trying to get to them. So obviously, I mentioned about the He-Man Masters of the Universe thing.
Mm-hmm. That looks good.
I'm just trying to remember.
Is that live action or animated?
No, it's animated. It's on Netflix. Animated. It drops in July.
And it looks pretty.
Looks pretty cool.
Impressive.
I know that Nickelodeon brought back Rugrats as
a what?
A computer generated series.
No thanks.
Yeah, I know.
So apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently, so I guess Disney made an update to the Snow White ride in Disneyland.
Yeah, something about it, obviously, because, she was unconscious and Prince Charming comes along and kisses her.
Non-consensual kiss.
Yeah, it's this day and age we're living in, where fairy tales are.
So there's that.
Yeah.
What's the other thing that crosses me with that? I've noticed that Disney is getting real heavy and coming out with more villain movies. There's Cruella that's supposed to be being released very soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Could be interesting, I guess. Find out how many Dalmatians she kills to make her coats.
Well, actually, looking at the rushes, it just has her as this badass designer of clothes. It looks like they kind of reinvented the Cruella character to be more like, what's the movie? The Devil Wears Prada. It comes off like that.
Wow.
So, it'd be interesting to see. But I've just noticed that that Disney seems to be featuring more and more of their villains in their movies.
Well, villains make dynamic and interesting characters. You can't have most of your what you call it, your Dudley Do-Right heroes. Those are kind of boring if you don't have a cool villain to fight.
But they're like individualizing them though. Like they're not in the same movie.
Right. The Maleficent they did with Jolie.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I'm sorry.
So in the meantime, also, if you are interested in art, J. Scott Campbell has been very active this week about draw this in your own style, recreate my cover art from Spider-Man 607, and he's been giving pointers all week on stuff like that, so it's pretty cool. And J. Scott Campbell is a phenomenal artist. He was part of the whole Wildstorm team over at Image, and then kind of, I don't know where, I guess these days he's at Marvel, and he's a phenomenal artist. So if you are an art person and you wanted to get some ideas and some tips, that's going on, and it's the wonderful cost of free.
Hashtag draw this in your style.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought there was some other hashtag. But
hashtag redraw ASM 607.
Okay. So.
Cool.
Anyway, let's see. There's some talk about, maybe we should talk about this on News of the Squared, even though it's not really funny, but it's certainly interesting. So there's talk about the Star Wars cruise, the Star Cruiser Hotel, the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel, and this could be interesting and it sounds fascinating. Maybe we'll talk about that on News of the Squared.
Sure.
Even though it's not really
And we did.
Not really funny.
We did talk Star Wars a little bit last week on News of the Squared.
So let's see. I guess Free Guy and Shang-Chi, according to this, are getting exclusive theater.
Yeah, there was that Ryan Reynolds movie that was going to be made. It was based on like he's a video game NPC, but he becomes the hero, and that got lost in the shuffle due to COVID. So,
right. So apparently that and Shang-Chi will play 45 days in theaters before anybody in streaming gets it. I don't know. I kind of laugh because it's like, why?
They want to put seats in the theater. They want that box office money.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Trying to restart the theater business. They want to go back to the old ways. It might be a while before they can go back to those old ways, though. It's going to be a long while.
Well, yeah. I mean, looking at it from this plateau right now, it's like I don't see the theaters filling up in the next couple of months to capacity. I'm looking probably in the fall, possibly.
Maybe by Christmas.
Maybe by Thanksgiving. Maybe I'll give it that. If even that. Because,
yeah.
one can never be too careful.
No. Anything else? Jeff?
I don't think there is.
Okay.
I think that's it. I mean, I'm sorry. The only other thing is something you posted about the anniversary of that they cut NSYNC out of
of the Attack of the Clones.
We can probably talk about that in News of the Square too. Yeah,
the anniversary of the release of Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. And there was a list from Entertainment Weekly of the 50 best teen shows of all time, but we're kind of running against the clock.
We're on the clock this week. Maybe next week we can tackle that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think that'll do this week, eh?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Go and get some poutine.
Get some poutine?
Mm-hmm. We're on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on YouTube. You can click the bell, subscribe, when to get new content. You can download the show on your usual podcast hosting platforms. iTunes, Apple, that's iTunes and Apple. They're the same thing, kind of pretty much. Google, Spotify, Anchor.fm/SOTRT. If you don't have a mobile device, you can listen to it on your computer if you have one of those. Follow us on Facebook. That's our Squares Roundtable page where we have our side hustle News of the Squared later in the week. Email us at sotrtpodcast@gmail.com. Jeff is on Clubhouse, and Ivan's going to be on Clubhouse. And we're all going to be on Clubhouse. We're migrating like geese.
Very, very soon, we're all hanging out at Clubhouse.
Right.
Thank you for joining us here at the News of the Squared, at the Squares of the Round Table. That's our other hustle. At the Squares of the Round Table. I hope we'll catch up with you next week. Have a great one, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you on the interwebs.